Hey, how's it going? It's Chris with PearsonCopy.com, and I'm here to help your brand make more sales with email. As part of my 100 emails in 100 days of breakdown challenge, I'm breaking down an email from the brand at Dr. Squatch. I have done an email or two before in the past for them. I do like their brand. I like their personality they have in their copy. I do like their approach to email marketing. Um, and I think that this email in particular got my attention in my inbox. So I wanted to break it down for you and tell you why. So with that being said, this is a educational type email. They're doing a summer promo with this email, but they lead with education. And then the big insights here. I think one, Dr. Squatch has a personality. They have a brand voice. They have a distinct brand voice that sticks out in the market. Out of the dozens of emails I was looking through this morning, this is the one that stuck out to me because of the subject line. We're going to talk about that in a second. And then also, too, once I clicked in, Dr. Squatch approaches their email marketing from the customer standpoint first and moves into whatever's happening in the world. So, for example, it's here in North America, we're transitioning into summer right now. It's getting hotter, temperatures rising. It's summertime, right? And most brands are saying, "Hey, it's summer. This is why you should buy." The reason to buy is because of summer. Dr. Squatch is actually staying away from that for their first contact, and they're saying, "Hey, you have this problem. That's why you should buy. Oh, and by the way, this problem's going to be exacerbated because it's summer." So they start with the customer's problem instead of the season. And what they do is that one change alone is what makes their email stand out in the inbox more so than any other brand that I have. So that I have in my inbox. And I've signed up for a couple hundred, and this one stuck out after looking at 4 or 5 pages. This is the one I clicked on because it's like I have to see what this is about. Like it's Dr. Squatch, another brand. I like their brand, I like the personality, and their subject line is "Let's talk about your balls." Like how do you not click on this? Whether you're offended or not, or you find it funny, or whatever your take is on this subject line and this email once we get into it, you have to click on it and see what it is, right? And that's the magic of it. So, with that being said, I'll go ahead and dive into the subject line. So let's talk about your balls. That's the subject line. And this isn't just an arbitrary subject line to get your attention to click. They actually transition that subject line into their copy and their message and their offer. So the problem that the customer has, basically, the Dr. Squatch solves is it's summer, it's getting hot. I'll read the copy down here, and they explain it pretty good. Temps are on the rise, and there's no doubt it's probably feeling pretty balmy below your belt. Fear not, Squatch Nation. We've got some crucial grooming tips that'll help you keep the boys dry, fresh, and chafe free all summer long. So, with that being said, again, Dr. Squatch is coming from the problem the customer has into the problem somebody has is the reason they're buying. The season that it's in exacerbates that problem. It's what's causing the issue, right? So you have your reason for buying over here, and then you have the mechanism behind why the problem exists, which is heat, right? So they're definitely approaching this differently than most brands do. 95%, 99% of brands don't do this. They just say it's summer, it's winter, it's fall, it's Christmas, it's 4th of July, it's Hanukkah, etc. And they use that as the reason to buy as opposed to the actual problem the customer's having. So I don't know if I can repeat that enough, but brownie points to anybody who comments in the comments below and tells me how many times I said that in this video, because it's a huge point, a huge insight that I just want to hit home for you. So let's go down the email. So I already read the copy here. They're talking about the problem and the mechanism to that problem, right? But I think also too that's really interesting is how to summarize your stack. So again, they talk about the problem, they tie it into summer being the issue or being the reason why this problem exists or exacerbating that problem, and they have fun with it. They have a personality, they have a brand voice. I think that's another huge point is Dr. Watch has a unique brand voice, which most brands don't take the time to actually do that. They don't take the risk of actually offending or deterring or getting people to say, "I don't like you." They're afraid of rejection because if we get rejected by somebody, then they're not going to buy. Yeah, great, but if that one person rejects you, there's another one waiting right behind them to say, "I love your brand, I want to buy from you." And the only reason that person says "I love you" is because you have a specific, distinct brand voice. You have a certain way of approaching, talking about the problems, the solutions, the features, benefits of your products, etc. That specific voice is what's going to attract people to you. It's also going to deter people. Now, when you're deterring people because of your personality, your brand voice, etc., you're going to get people to say, "I don't like you." They're going to publicly say, "I don't like this brand because of this reason," and that's not always a bad thing. They're talking about your brand, even though it's in a negative sense, and maybe they're criticizing you. You're still getting attention from those comments. People are coming to your brand to see for themselves. Is this person who said this is a bad brand actually telling the truth? Is it real? Do I agree with them? Do I disagree with them? You're getting marketing from that. Now, the whole deterrence method of like we're going to actively deter the people that we don't like, and anybody that's left over is going to be people that do like us. You have to play with that mode of marketing at your own risk. It can backfire pretty heavily, but if you can find that sweet spot, if you can walk that tightrope with it, it is a very, very potent way to actually get customers and keep them because you stand for something, you have an opinion, and you're not afraid to talk about it, right? You're not afraid to stand up and say, "This is what I think, this is what I believe, this is why." People are extremely attracted to that. But again, like I said, it's going to create a crowd of people that vehemently disagree with you and potentially fight against you to quiet you, basically. So that's something that you can play with. I think Dr. Squatch walks this line really well. This could be to some people, or some people think that, oh, this is offensive. Why are you talking about that? But it is a genuine problem that Dr. Squatch can help solve. So that right there gives them a pass in my book. Is like they're actually solving a problem. It's a creative, fun way to do this, to actually say what they're talking about. It's a little on the nose, but it's not just arbitrary, right? It's not just saying something to get your attention. Like the sky is falling. Okay, well, why? I don't know. Just because I wanted to. Oh, by the way, can you buy my snake oil? Um, that they're not doing that. It's very specific and it's very direct, and it has a purpose. Moving down the email, like I said, the copy here, we already read that, went through that. It is educational based, so they have a button here to click to that article or blog or whatever that asset is. Excuse me. And then there's an innuendo here for the CTA. Read that a couple times and see if you can get it. And then they move into their products. So stay fresh, keep cool. And something else that I like about Dr. Squatch that I've seen a few times now, I've been on their site, a couple of the emails that I get from them, is they're typically offering a solo product, a paired product, and then a bundled product. So there's different volumes or levels that customers can buy at. So somebody that's just trying something, they're probably going to get a solo. Somebody who likes something but they're not sure if they want to commit, they might get a pair. Somebody who knows exactly what they want and they're going to stock up on it and they want to keep it for the next 5, 6, 7 months, whatever, they're going to get a bundle, right? Or if there's a specific bundle of soap and deodorant and whatever, and they see that it's all the fragrances or smells that they like, and it's the products they buy, they're going to buy it, right? Maybe they want to try a new deodorant and they bundle it with a soap that is a different scent that they like, they might buy that bundle. So that's something I think Dr. Squatch does really well, and they're moving in the right direction with the bundle stuff. Is making bundles actually helps people buy more. You'd be surprised at how many people actually choose the most expensive option. People do buy the most expensive option. If you have 3 options, most people pick that middle one, but there is a small percentage, 5, 10, 15% maybe, that do buy that upper option. And if you don't have that, people aren't going to buy it, which means you're not making money. So even if it's a small group, showing that just gives people the idea that they can spend more when they want to. That right there is a huge, what do I say, lever you can pull with your customers, is saying, look, I know you spend 25, but if you want to, you can spend 150. It's here when you're ready. And people will buy that. So the other thing too is, this is more behind the scenes, but you can segment out your list to see what kind of products are being bought over a certain time period in a certain product line, in a category, etc. And you can find new bundles in your list based on buying behavior. So if you have enough data, you can say, okay, over the last 90 days, let's look at a deodorant, a soap, and a shampoo or something. And if you have enough people that bought those 3 things, then you can bundle that and say, hey, group, here's a bundle. You bought these over the last 90 days separately. Here's a bundle for 20% off. And people are going to buy that. And all you have to do is just segment your data out. Group your list into certain things based on category, products, purchase history, behavior, just whatever that is in your email software, however you can figure that out. And it'll tell you what to sell them next. Another thing too is, after a couple purchases, you can actually send out a survey saying, hey, why'd you buy? Why'd you buy? Why did you buy that specifically? If there was anything that was missing that you think we could give you or that you'd want from us, what is it? And then what's the next thing you're thinking of buying? And like, you can just ask questions to get information, and literally ask people, what do you want to buy next? And then say, oh, look, we created it. Here you go, and sell it to them. And you can make money that way too. So there's different ways you can literally take a product or products in your customer list and marry them together and make money. And I think Dr. Squatch is doing a version of that with their solos, pairs, and bundle products. And then finally, the rest of the email here, we have the Shop Now button, which is tracked, but I'm assuming that just goes to a general page. I would potentially put a buy this deodorant now, buy this hair care kit now, buy this soap and deodorant bundle now, and do them individually, and then have a Shop Now at the bottom as well. Because they can click on these images and go, it looks like, but not having a button here, maybe people don't know to click. Is pretty straightforward. I think people are smart enough to know to click at the image, but putting the CTA there in the button, that's just going to help it even more. So yeah, and then you have your Dr. Squatch perks. I really like loyalty and reward programs for people that are spending money consistently. Gives them a reason to come back, gives them a reason to not buy from somebody else. Or if they are buying from somebody else, this is more of an incentive because they get rewards. Maybe they get free stuff for a certain amount of points, or they get money in their account or something like that. If you don't have a loyalty rewards program, but you have a high volume of sales, I would say you need to create one as soon as possible, because this right here is going to keep people around longer. It's going to increase your lifetime customer value. And potentially, if you do bundles, if you have a loyalty program plus a bundle setup, your average order value is going to go up too, because more people are spending more money per purchase, just because they want to be loyal, and it's 20% off, but they're going to spend more anyway, because it is a bundle. That right there is going to help increase your AOV. And if you're not sure why that's important, the higher the AOV, typically the more you can actually spend to buy a customer. So if your AOV is at 50, you can spend $50 to break even to buy a new customer, right? But if your AOV is 150, you can spend 150 to get a customer break even, or spend 90 and have some profit there, that margin. Being able to outspend your competitors to actually buy customers, or to get them onto your list, or get them to become customers, is a advanced business tactic, where if I can spend more to get customers, then I can outspend you, which means I can buy more customers than you can, and I can last longer because I can afford to buy customers and you can't. So you can literally buy competitors out of the market just by buying the attention of the customer. So stuff like that, when you're raising your AOV and your lifetime value, those two metrics are huge when it comes to staying in the market longer and also getting more customers. Everybody's trying to reduce their cost to the customer, but if you can spend more, then what does it matter? If your AOV has gone up and you actually sell more per purchase, you can spend more, which means you don't have to drive your cost down, and your margins, you have more room for margin play, right? And other competitors are trying to drive the cost per customer acquisition down, simply because they can't afford not to. But if you can afford that margin and you can afford to pay more, it's a war of attrition. Then you just have to hang out long enough and buy customers for long enough, and you're going to stick around longer than most competitors. So that's some behind the scenes business stuff that I hope helps with some insights. And then the rest of the email, we've got the social icons, we've got the footer information here. So yeah, 2 or 3 big insights here. One, Dr. Squatch approaches this email and the summer season from the problem of the customer first, and the season is the reason why this problem exists. And it exacerbates the problem. So that's different. Most brands go, it's summertime, you should buy because it's summer. Dr. Squatch is being different and setting out by saying, you have this problem and summer makes this problem worse, so you should buy. They're starting with the customer instead of the arbitrary reason because it's summer. Like, that's not that creative. Honestly, it's pretty lazy. So going back and starting with the customer's problem, finding a creative way to get their attention because of that, and then tied into summer, it's way better. Second thing, their copy, personality, brand voice, it's on point. They are distinct and they're different in their market. Final thing, the bundle package. If you don't have bundles, make them. Make one bundle, go segment your list, find a bundle you can make and start selling to your list, and start sending it to them as soon as you can, because people are going to spend more money with you if you offer ways for them to do it. Think of it this way. If you're not offering people things to buy, they're not going to buy from you. If you do offer them things to buy and they don't buy, then that means it's an offer that they don't want. So you just keep creating new offers or new bundles until you find something that people like and they start buying it. So that's a shift when it comes to selling. Is if you don't offer, they can't buy. So you better start offering things, right? A bundle is something that is very powerful if you know how to use it, and if you use it in the right way. With that being said, that's pretty much it for this breakdown. Like I said, I'm doing 100 emails, 100 days as a breakdown challenge. Check back on my YouTube channel. I've got roughly 60 videos at the time of this recording of this video. Go check those videos out. There's tons of insights there. And if you do take some of these insights away from this email or others, and you do go apply them, which I would highly encourage and highly suggest you do. If you do apply them and you get results, please let me know. I would really like to talk to you and see how you applied them, what insights they were, and if I can help you multiply or make those results better. Helping you make more money and impact people with your products. That's what I'm here to do. So with that, like I said, go check out my YouTube videos. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a good one.